Hello tanks and tankettes, and welcome to me kicking puppies for 7 minutes, because that's basically what this is going to be. This is my OI mastery game. And this thing is exactly as broken as everybody says it is. Now on paper it doesn't look like it should be that much worse than the KV2, except there are a couple of reasons why, oh hell yes, it is. Now the KV2 with its matchmaking would be, this would be good for a KV2. And in theory this has a very similar gun. In fact, some of the gun stats in terms of the shell damage are identical. But the OI beats the KV2 in a fair number of ways. Now there is two things that the KV2's derp gun does better. It has better HE penetration by 11 on average, and it also fires faster. In all other regards, this has the better gun. It doesn't fire as fast, but the accuracy, aim time, dispersion stats are all better than the KV2. And more importantly, the ammo gets more penetration. So your AP, I think the KV2's AP is something like 110. This is 121. Doesn't sound like a lot, but sometimes an extra 10 mil of penetration makes a big difference. But more importantly, this thing gets heat ammo with 150 average penetration for its premium, whereas the KV2 has premium AP. Now the KV2 used to have heat, and then they removed it because people were just driving around firing heat shells. And guess what? Apparently they've learned not a thing. Now they can't have forgotten that experience with the KV2, so for some inexplicable reason they took the deliberate decision to give this heat with 150 pen. So that's bad enough, like just on the derp gun alone, that's bad enough. But the real reason this is far worse than the KV2 is that it has literally double the frontal armor, and if you're top tier like this, even with premium ammo, you can't, in theory, pen the front of these with another one of these half the time. Now this is exactly what I mean. You might be able to do this with KV2 AP shells, but still, this is just because it aims faster, because it has less dispersion, because it has better accuracy. The KV2, that would have taken longer to aim, it would have been a chancier shot. The T14 would have had more warning, but no, I just one-shotted a tier 5 heavy, which is completely fair and balanced. Now the OI experimental, the tier 5, that has more of a problematic gun. Armor-wise, it's not that tough. And, oh, hello, Mr. Excelsior. Well, you know what? I'm just going to, instead of firing at your front, because I don't think I can pen that, I'm just going to one-shot this OI experimental. Why not? And the armor on the OI experimental is not particularly great. And it's huge, and it's flat. And this is huge and flat as well, but it's literally double the armor, which makes a big difference. So, yeah, the KV2, at least you can hurt it back. But unless you load up all the premium ammo, there's a lot of even same tier tanks that just don't have a hope against this thing frontally. Hell, the rear armor is as thick. The rear armor is also 150. It's only the sides that are somewhat vulnerable. So yeah, that's what, 3 shots, 3 full health tanks, 2000 damage. I mean, sure, why not? Oh, and by the way, this thing also has better gun depression and gun elevation than a KV2. So there's that as well. So the AI was the A43 drops down. I just, casually finish off that Cromwell. Sure, why not? Oh, someone's actually flanked me. Well, he's got my side armor, so he's going to do a little bit of damage. And then I'm going to turn my front armor, and now he's screwed. So yeah, there are a lot of tanks, especially the lower tiers, the tier 4s. This thing can see tier 4s. I mean, so can the KV2, okay. And some tier 4s will struggle to penetrate the KV2. Full health, sure, another one, why not? Let's just, murder all of the things. But you can hurt a KV2 back with most tanks of its same tier. There's a lot of same tier tanks that are going to struggle with the OI experimental, with the OI rather. So it's just, yeah, and it's kind of, it's that combination of the armor and the gun that make this by far the most OP of the entire Japanese heavy line. Because as you go further up, yeah, they get a bit more armor as you're going up, and the mobility obviously goes down, and that's obviously a factor as well. Because this thing's still reasonably mobile despite its massive bulk. But as you go further up, the armor means less because more people have better penetration, and at the higher tiers, people are more generally able to afford to spam some premium ammo at you. And these things are just massive premium magnets. And that's kind of true of other tanks as well in the game already, like the Mouse and the E100. But you can at least, if you're driving one of those things, do something about it. You can angle a bit, or you can try and hide bits of your armor or whatever, like the E100 low front plate, for example. The Mouse, you can angle the turret. Sometimes you'll get penned anyway, but you've got a chance of bouncing some premium shells. It's possible. With the Japanese heavies, you just can't. You just can't. The entire design of them is that, well, either you're going to meet things which are invulnerable, or else you just can't hide. And this is to say nothing of artillery. So playing them is, I don't even know. It's not been a great experience so far. And then you have games like this every once in a while. In the experimental, well, it's got a monstrous gun for its tier, but at least it's easy to kill comparatively. Whereas this, yeah. Now I'm going to make the mistake of firing an AP shell at the back of this guy. Hell, even a heat shell, obviously there's a 50-50 chance it would actually pen. First shell I've fired that hit and didn't actually didn't actually penetrate. So, oh well, I want my money back. It needs buffing, Wargaming. Yeah. So on to the HE. First and only HE shell I'm going to fire this entire game. And it's at the enemy OI, who's just been sat here facing down multiple enemies. And I get the final kill. 7 kills. This was just... I had to go away. I had to log out of World of Tanks after this. Because it was just so ridiculous and monstrously unfair. And the map contributed, the matchmaking contributed, but still. In theory, it's possible with the KV2 to do what I just did, but it would be harder. So, I don't know what Wargaming was thinking, and I'm more and more coming to Sercon's point of view that the entire Japanese heavy line, in theory, I should love it. In theory, this should be a line of tanks just for me. But Wargaming goofed massively putting this entire line in, and the OI in particular at tier 6. It's just, yeah, it's ridiculous. It really is. Of all the ridiculous tanks, this is... And at the moment, I'm actually grinding through, on the NA server, the T150. So every other battle, it's OIs, and it's the team with the most OIs, generally, that wins. Not always, but if you're top tier, and there's OIs on each side, or if the enemy team has OIs and you don't have OIs, then good luck with that. Hell, at least I now have the top gun on the T150. And actually, the, the 100mm on the OI, if it only had that 100mm gun, that's actually kind of comparable to the T150's 107mm, which of course the KV2 can also mount. If it only had that gun, would it be a bit fairer? Well, it'd still be monstrously strong when it's top tier, and the armor would mean not a lot when it's bottom tier, but it would feel a little fairer, whereas driving around with a derp gun, yeah, it's just a monster, and I think it needs to be slayed. So, if you've enjoyed this puppy kicking video, you sick, twisted individual you can leave any comments about it below. You can hit the like button, you can sub to my channel if you aren't already, and, as always, stay tuned for more.